so much for joining us this week. We're excited to bring you another industry professional, and this time it is from the world of baseball. So let's go ahead and get started. Drew, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, yeah, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to, be on and talk to you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn more about you. So, could you please just take a few minutes, tell me who you are, what you do, and where you're from?
So my name is Drew Lugbauer. I am currently a professional baseball player in the Atlanta Braves organization. I went to the University of Michigan from the fall of 2014 to the spring of 2017, and I am from Poughkeepsie, New York.
Very cool. So, professional baseball, I mean, you're our first professional athlete that we have had on this interview series. So, I'm excited to dive into what that actually means. So, could you tell us a little bit about what that looks like? What would be your daily activities playing professional baseball? And I'm sure that's different depending on which season it is. But just kind of walk us through your day.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the kind of mode I'm in, whether it's in season or off season. But I guess right now, since it's the off season, I'll kind of give you a day in the life there. Wake up, eat breakfast pretty early in the morning, and then spend about 4 to 5 hours on baseball activity, whether that be weightlifting, hitting, throwing, all that kind of stuff. And then towards the evening, maybe give some baseball instruction, and then go to bed and kind of do the same thing all over again. And then in season, it's a lot crazier. Games are usually at night. They can take, usually start at 7, so they can go pretty later. So later wake up during the season, and then depends on if we're traveling or not. So that's a whole nother story. But off season is kind of a regimented routine.
Yeah. So when you talk about in season, that is when you are playing the games. Does in season also include your preseason training, or when typically during the year does all of this start? Like, what is that timeline for the year?
Well, right now with everything going on, it's all up in the air. It's kind of crazy times and unprecedented times. I know we've heard that word a bunch of times, but it really is. So usually without all of this going on, mid-February is usually around Valentine's Day is usually the beginning of spring training, which usually lasts towards the end of March. So you have that block of spring training where getting back on the field, getting ready to go. And then end of March is when the season starts. And that goes all the way until mid-September. And you're playing every single day. I mean, Major League plays 162 games. Minor League plays 140 games. So you can go stretches of playing for 3 weeks straight with no off day. So those kind of wear on you, but in season is a lot of work. It's a long year, but it's obviously doing what I love, so can't complain.
Okay. That's awesome. So could you kind of take us through what your journey has been like from high school to where you are now? Kind of fill us in on what that looked like for you.
Baseball wise, or just kind of in general?
I mean, in general, baseball wise, however you want to take it is perfectly fine.
Yeah, so I went to Arlington High School. I've always loved baseball, always played baseball when I was growing up. So went in and kind of wanted to compete for varsity, and was able to make the varsity team as a freshman. So that was kind of the moment I thought, like, okay, I can play. And then I kind of started, taking it a lot more seriously, and um, was always told that I need to focus on school. I need to focus on getting good grades and doing well in school if I want to play at the next level. So those two things combined was, working hard in baseball, but also working hard, in the classroom. And I know all you athletes out there have probably heard that same thing, and it really holds true. I promise you. Your success on the field can only take you so far. It's what's done in the classroom. But so yeah, and then I tried to excel in both on the field and off the field, and I did really well in school, and then on the field did well, and was actually able to get drafted out of high school, but decided to keep my commitment to the University of Michigan and go to University of Michigan because I do value education. I wanted to get the education, and I I thought it would help me grow as a player and a person. And yeah, it did. And I don't regret that decision whatsoever, and ended up getting drafted in the 11th round by the Braves, and who I'm currently with now. So
Yeah, very cool. So I'm sure, just like everyone else, you've probably faced obstacles or struggles along the way. Would you take some time to maybe talk about how you've overcome obstacles that you faced, and maybe any advice that you have for students to do the same?
yeah, I mean, I remember my freshman year of college. I know we're talking to high schoolers, but the freshman year of college, I came in with pretty high expectations of myself and had high expectations from others about me. Um, and I didn't really live up to those expectations. I performed poorly, and um, at first I kind of wanted to like shy away from it. I didn't want to go to baseball practice. I didn't want to go to the games. Um, but then I realized I got to take this head on. I gotta go and face it, and I gotta punch it right back. I got punched? I gotta get back up and punch it right back. And that really helped me. That really helped me, because you could either shy away and not give it another shot, or you can get back up, and that happens in life. That's not just in sports. It happens a lot in sports, but that happens in everything. And I kind of just faced that, talked to my coach, talked to my peers, talked about what do I need to work on. They gave me some positive feedback, and I went and attacked those things, and definitely helped me grow as a player, but more importantly, helped me grow as a person. Learning how to deal with that kind of adversity. Getting back up and keep trying, and just never giving up.
Yeah. And it sounds like you had some really good mentors around you to help you through that, for sure.
Definitely, yep.
Yeah. So, one of my favorite questions to ask is, what are some careers that you've discovered since graduating high school? And so, the reason that I love asking this question is because there's so many students out there that maybe love sports, but they don't have the athletic ability to play professionally. But I'm sure you, being in the industry, you have seen so many different career opportunities for people to work in sports, but not necessarily play. So, could you maybe talk about a few of those that you've discovered along the way?
Definitely. I think one of the things on the top of my list is, well, there's a few things, but a sport agent. Sport agents that's a really really cool job. And um, you kind of like, I don't know, in high school I kind of had this picture of what an agent was, like these big time Hollywood people that are kind of snobby. But once you get to know them, like my agent, awesome guy. Both men and women, it's a career for anybody. It's just a great opportunity to be around the game, but also learn the small intricacies that go behind the money, and behind trades and roster, all that kind of stuff. It's really really cool. That's definitely on top of my list. Once I'm done playing, to kind of look into. Um, but also coaching. Even at the high school, like, or at the high school level as well. Like, you can love the game and not be very good at it, but if you love the game and have a passion for it, then you could still pursue coaching. You don't have to be a player, especially now. If you're smart and really love the game, then you don't have to be like this stud player to be a very good coach. You just have to know a lot about the game and really be passionate about it. And that's something I didn't realize either when I was younger. I thought it was all just really really good players, but it can be anybody. You just have to have a passion for the game. And kind of piggybacking off that, working in the front office for a team, and that term front office is pretty broad, but there's a lot you can do in the front office, whether it be analytics, which discusses. I don't know if anyone's seen Moneyball, but Moneyball would be a great movie to watch about that kind of stuff, baseball analytics, or I don't even know, just a plethora of jobs are available in the front office, that you get to stay around baseball, be around the players, but don't necessarily have to play.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about an agent. Could you explain what are the duties of an agent? Like, what does your agent do?
Um, Basically, like contract negotiations. The sweet thing is they hook me up with some gear, so they give me whatever I need for the season: cleats, shoes, bats, all that kind of stuff. They'll help with sponsorship opportunities or community engagement kind of stuff. What else? And just like building relationships with teams, because you don't really always get to stay with the same team for however many years you're playing. You could get released, God forbid, or you can get traded, kind of whatever. So if an agent has a good relationship with another team, they can talk to them about you and have these connections. So it's kind of like a networking thing, but they're just solid people to have in your corner.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I've always said is incredibly important is networking. No matter what career path you choose to pursue, you've got to be able to build those positive relationships with the people around you.
And I guess, adding on that, I know you and I met over LinkedIn, and I think that in high school, I never had a LinkedIn, but, college, I made the LinkedIn. Going off that, if you get any opportunity, jump on that. You never know really what path it's going to take you down. You can kind of learn more things about what you like and what you don't like. Sometimes you have this level focus on what you want to do and you're going to ignore everything else. But sometimes maybe take those opportunities that you don't really have an interest in and make sure that you don't have an interest in them, or maybe another door can open up.
Yeah, that is such good advice. Sometimes you have to try the things that you maybe even know that you're not going to like, just to make sure you're not going to like them.
Exactly.
Yes. So that's a perfect lead into my next question, which is, what is something you wish you would have learned at a younger age? I mean, you're a young guy anyways, but even younger, what is something you wish you would have learned?
I guess the beginning half of my my high school experience, I was always told to, use a planner, plan your day out kind of stuff. And I kind of caught on early. So I guess this is not really like what I wish I could tell myself now to learn back then, because I kind of picked up at an early age, but I'm telling everybody else, get a routine, have a planner, write things down. I have a notebook. It's not next to me. I would show you right now. I write every single day a to-do list, what I have to get done, the times I have to do, and checking things off is the most satisfying thing in the world. I promise you. So if you have a checklist, a to-do list, those are just little wins. And every time you do something throughout the day, you check it off. You feel good about yourself. That gives you positive momentum. And when I was younger in high school, I was like all over the place. My backpack was a mess. Binder was a mess. Planner non-existent. But then I started cleaning that up, and I made my bed. I made the checklist, and that all those things just helped me unclutter my mind and really like give myself more motivation to do more things throughout the day.
That is such good advice. And it's something that is simple. It's something easy to implement into your life. And like you said, there is nothing more satisfying than checking off
Nothing. And the biggest thing is that they're easy. Like there's something everybody can do. So it's not like you're going way out of your way to do it. It's the fact that it's easy makes it all better.
100% agree. So my last question for you, and then I've got a few questions from students, is we might have some students listening that are interested in becoming a professional athlete. What is something that you would suggest they do right now while they're still in high school that would help them prepare for that kind of future?
Definitely piggybacking off what I said before, you gotta be able to manage your time well. If you're going to play it in the next level in college, that's all it is time management. And I'm sure you athletes have heard that, but I'm going to repeat it again. It's true. Like time management is huge. Staying on top of your schoolwork and practice and even your social life, it all wraps in as one. So being prepared for that. And, if you want to play at the next level, you got to put in the work. You got to be in the gym every day. You got to be on the field every day. You got to, take care of your body eating wise. It's a lot to do. And once you realize that it's a lot, then, and it's mandatory, then it kind of gets easier, if that makes any sense. If you're just all over the place with it and not really caring about it, it makes it a little harder. But once you accept the fact that it's going to be your job, and then it kind of gets a little easier. But the biggest thing I can say is just never give up, follow your dream, and you can really accomplish anything.
Yes, good advice. Okay, so the first question that we have from a student is, have you ever had the opportunity to play with or maybe play against some of your childhood baseball heroes?
Yes, I have. I played against like Miguel Cabrera. That was a really, really cool experience. He's an older guy, not older, but he's like a guy that when I was growing up was obviously winning triple crowns and being really good. So I guess he would probably be number one.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that was definitely a pinch me moment. Like, is this real
Yeah,
life?
that was pretty cool.
So the next question from a student is, how is off-season training different than in-season training?
Good question. I would say off-season training is um, more focused on building strength because you're not doing the activity every single day of being out in the field playing 9 innings every single day. You can get more time to rest and more downtime, so you're kind of putting your body through a little bit more stress on the weight side in the off season. But in season, since you're playing every single day, it's more about maintaining strength and not killing your body, but definitely trying to keep that strength, maybe lifting 2 times a week in season, and then in the off season you're lifting maybe 6 times a week. So there's definitely a huge difference in that aspect of it, just because in season you're playing every single day. It's hard to lift pretty heavy.
So you've already mentioned that during in season, it's a pretty rigorous schedule. So the next question is, do you get any off time during in season?
Very rarely. We'll get if we play 140 games, maybe, I don't know, in total 2 weeks off. So maybe a little bit more, but not total. I mean, not in a row. It's all scattered all over the place. So those days, those off days, you get to cherish. If you're at a nice warm spot, go to the beach, hang out by the pool. Maybe your girlfriend visits on that day because it's the one day that you have off, kind of thing. But yeah, not much downtime. You gotta. It's a grind. It's a lot, but it's all worth it.
Yeah. The next question is, what has been your favorite stadium to play in?
Well, I grew up a Mets fan, and I played at City Field back when I was in high school. So that still holds true. That was my favorite field to play in. 'Cause I'm a Mets fan, so I can't go against that.
So how does that work? Like when the Braves play the Mets?
I got to keep it in. I do. I got to keep it in.
So the next question, I love this question. I think it's so good. What is the best advice that you have ever received from a coach?
Whew. Best advice I've ever received from a coach. I wouldn't say a coach, kind of a coach. So when I was like 9 years old, I was catching, and I was scared to block the ball. I was always scared of the ball. And there was one of the coach's fathers, older guy, came up to me after the game, and he was known for like being a good baseball player and everything. And he showed me that his hands were all messed up. And he's like, I'm going to tell you right now, like, if you want to play, if you want to be a player at the next level, if you want to catch, you're going to get hurt. He's like, you got to suck it up, and you just got to go for it. And at that time, I thought it, just applied to catching, but it kind of applies for everything, just like, kind of like what I said before, the more the time you get to accept that, it's my job, it's going to be a lot, whatever, it gets easier. Like, it's the same kind of thing. It's going to be tough, and it's going to suck at sometimes, but if you accept that and, do whatever, then, you're going to accomplish your goals. And I think that just holds true for everything.
Yeah, I think so. I totally agree. So my last question for you tonight is, what would you say has been the best moment of your career so far?
Junior year of high school, we were down 7 runs in the last inning in the section championship game, and we came back and won that game. And it was just the coolest experience one of the coolest experiences I've ever been a part of, and probably the best like baseball memory I have. That was unreal what we did there. That team was a lot of fun to be around. So I would say that's definitely, up there.
Yeah, it sounds so exciting. Well, Drew, thank you so much for spending time with us and sharing your insight and your words of wisdom with students. Is there any last advice that you would like to leave with students before we wrap it up?
Just kind of like what I've been saying, the whole time. Just if you have a dream, go chase it. It doesn't have to be in sports or anything. Don't ever have somebody tell you that you can't do something because, they don't know what's inside. If you're really passionate about something, just go for it, and don't be afraid to take chances. Just wanna strive to do what you love, and when you find that, don't ever give it up.
I love it. Perfect advice. Well, thanks, Drew. Thanks so much for everyone that tuned in. Don't forget, we have a new industry professional every single week. So be sure and check back next week to see who it is. See you guys later.